Madhav
development
Nalapat, come in at this point, Professor. Kishore Subramaniam making a very interesting point. He's literally pitching this as democracy versus autocracy. I mean, by no way we would want to shun away from our responsibility as democracy. But the question is, I mean, India has a vantage point of being such a massive consumer as well. It's not just about manufacturing. It's not just about exports. It's also the strength it brings with being a massive consumer for that matter. How strong do you see what Kishore Subramaniam is saying at this point? I mean, to be able to actually bring in the strategic advantage to the practical repercussions.
I like the fact that Kishore is focusing on some positive, definitely negatives and he's absolutely right about many of them. But the reality is, please understand, when we remember, it happened a very long time ago, probably before all our time, before skyscrapers came on the horizon. And when skyscrapers came, the amount of people, the number of people who could be on a particular area of land multiplied immensely. So the reality of the situation is, yes, land is a problem, but I'd like to point out another thing. State governments have got to compete in the electoral market. And unless they do well financially, unless they do well in providing jobs, they will lose the election. Even the BJP came within a whisker of losing government in the 2024 election. So obviously, there's need to buck up. So I'd like to say very clearly that please understand it's an existential situation. It's not a normal situation. It's either or. It's not me and. And the question is very clear. Either the US and its fellow democracies win, and of course, countries like Vietnam, etc. But my point is, how much can Vietnam absorb? How much can Indonesia absorb? How much can Thailand absorb? The Chinese are not worried about any of them. They're worried only about one country, and that's India. Because they see potentiality in India of the future that Kishore is probably aware of, but he doesn't believe it will be actualized. I do believe that Prime Minister Modi has understood the situation, and I do believe he will actualize the situation. And I said before, simplify regulations and make the carrots much more important than the stick in the tax system. And I remember Prime Minister Modi saying in 2014, minimum government, maximum governance. I think that's a perfect credo that we can say here.
Professor,
in 2020.
I'll have to interrupt you. I'm left with less than 2 minutes. Let me just get in quick reactions. Kishore, please go ahead. Quick rebuttal.
Sneha, we are actually having a nice debate where all of us are agreeing on most of the things. So that's a good point. So let me give you 3 points, very critical points. India progressed when we moved from UPA to UPI. And this is my caption, and I take total accountability when I'm saying we moved from UPA to UPI. Let us not forget what happened when we tried to please everybody under the socialist, Nehruvian socialist regime till 91. We were bankrupt. And third, and the most important point, till 2014, 58 crore of Indians did not even have a bank account. That's the kind of progress we made, lopsided. And at one end of the pyramid, you were having huge people earning and exporting IT services, but you didn't have one side bank account. So remember, if fundamentally you have to change the structure, you will have to address the core issues and ensure that democracy is not fully playing out, but selectively, without vindicating or debarring people from exercising their basic rights. You have to be a little strict in getting your order.
You are experts, you have your opinion, but I don't believe in selective democracy for sure. But mine is not the point at this point. Mr.